What's up, guys? Gap Up Trading. Got a better mic today so y'all can finally hear my beautiful voice. I've been getting a lot of questions about the indicators that I've been using on my charts. And what that means is all these squiggly lines, different multicolored lines, all these charts down here, what they are and how they are helpful and beneficial to day trading, what I do and how you can find breakouts, drops, stuff like that, different things. So I'm going to go in and explain each of the different indicators that I use personally on the desktop. Also, I'll go through the mobile app on Webull as well and show you all that one. So to get started, we're going to go with the moving averages. Moving averages are going to be your MAs. You can see up here in the top left corner, the MA indicator right here. You can see the deep blue, we have the MA9, which is going to be your moving average 9. Pink, moving average 20. Blue, moving average 50. And then the red, the moving average 200. And what that is these lines. Here's your red moving average, your 200 day, which would be a lot different than your shorter day moving average time periods. But what that does is it smooths out your price trends by filtering out the noise from random short-term price fluctuations, and then identifies trend directions and also support and resistance levels throughout the charts. So yes, this is an intraday chart. We're on the minute chart, but if we go back and look at, here's the daily chart. Here, let me turn all of these off just so I can show y'all. All right, so looking at the daily chart, this is going to be the SOFI, S-O-F-I. We're looking at the daily chart right here. You can see the moving averages currently in an uptrend right now. A little bit down over here, more in a consolidation, I would say, but looking for a pop-up to continue up in this uptrend. Definitely is a good thing to have on there so you can see, which way you need to be calling your plays, basically, if you need to be going up or down. So that's going to be your moving averages. And yeah, you can use them on the daily chart, but what I'm looking at, I'll look at the daily usually to see what trend we're going in a stock, and then I bust it down to the hour chart, or even the 4 hour. It gives you a little bit more of an indication. So right now we're under the 200 moving average, under the 50 moving average, but we're climbing above the 9 and 20 moving averages, which is good because we're looking for a breakout now, hopefully within the next week on this SOFI stock. So that's on the hour chart. Then I bust it down to the 30-minute chart. We're climbing even higher. All right, and then typically, trading, we're going to be looking at the 15, 10, 5, and then if you're day trading, even the 1 minute chart, which is usually typically what I'm looking at, is the 5 1 minute and the 15-minute chart. And as you can see, it's definitely going to break it out a lot better for you. The more you zoom in, the more you're going to see, and the different, all of these are moving. So on the one, we're above the 200 moving average, which means we should look for a gap up to the next moving averages and hopefully keep pushing up on that. So that's going to be the moving average indicator on your main background chart. And this is going to be for the desktop one, because on the desktop you can have multiple indicators on your main chart up here, and then we'll get down to these like sub indicators, I guess you could say, after the fact. So we got moving averages. The second one, if you're trading intraday as in, not daily, you're not holding, for multiple days, but if you're looking to trade within the same day, the hour, the 15, the 10, the 1, the 5 minute chart, stuff like that, we're going to be talking about the VWAP. All right, and this is usually what a lot of traders look for, like a lot of day traders are looking for. And why is this? So on the moving averages, we can change the settings, right? On the VWAP, you can't change the settings. And so when I explain it to people, I call it the North Star, basically, because it's a, give or take, it is the one indicator where it is the same for everybody. So everyone has the VWAP in the exact same place, on their chart. So what this means is your volume weighted average price. All right, so it's a trading benchmark, gives average price of a stock has traded throughout the day based on volume and price. So basically it's just going to be your intraday chart. You know, it can act as a support and resistance line also. So when you see it approaching, you know, coming up, it'll stay above. It'll come down and test here. All right, it doesn't like that. It'll jump above. You know, you'll see a little test at the VWAP. If it, like right here, green candle tries to break through. All right, gets rejected. Tries to break through again, gets rejected. All right, now we're on the downside. You know, it's getting rejected from the VWAP, so now it's going to be in a downtrend until it decides to come back up. So day traders typically use this, you know, to get in and out of stocks, you know, throughout the day, multiple times, like scalping, I guess you would say. You know, but it's going to be the same for everybody, which is why I like it, because it's like I said, a North Star indicator type thing, you could say. You know, you could look for breakouts with it also. You know, everything's above the moving averages. Everything, you know, it's above the moving averages, all the moving averages right here actually, and then passes above the VWAP, you know, being the weighted volume average price movement throughout the intraday like session. That means we're going to get a big breakup through here, and you know, we did. So that looks actually really good, and we actually made some big plays on Sophie today. We were up 100% I think within 10 minutes on contracts for this week. So there's the VWAP. Next thing I want to talk about is pivot points. Okay, so I think I have to go back in here and actually add pivot points. There we go. Pivot points on the desktop, you know, it's a love-or-hate relationship. On your phone, it is a lot easier to see your intraday pivot points. And what this is you have this P line right here, this blue one. That's typically an area of which the stock will pivot. You have your resistance 1, your resistance 2, and it explains it. You know, if I hover right here, you can see in the top left, resistance 3 is at 21.29, resistance 2, 20.70. You know, resistance 1. So what you use these for is trading breakouts. You know, it'll show previous intraday opening and closing periods throughout the day that basically turn into resistance and support lines. And honestly, trading on the desktop it doesn't show that well with these ones, but on the phone, on the mobile app, it is definitely really solid, especially for Tesla. Like on the 5-minute charts, they are very accurate, and you will see these candlesticks. Let me zoom out for you real quick. You will see these candlesticks flow in between those pivot lines, bounce and hit and then break through. And so it's really good indicator for if you're day trading, you know, stock or option scalping. So that's what I use on my main charts. And on your phone, it only allows you to have one indicator on your main chart. And so typically what I would have is the pivot points on my phone, you know, or you can have the lists on there and, you know, tap through each different one to see, you know, really quickly, see where the VWAP's at, see where the moving day averages are at, you know, see the pivot points, and then enter your trade. And that's what I would do with these main ones. Now the sub indicators we're going to have the MACD. This is one I keep always on the top. And what the MACD stands for is your moving average convergence divergence. So it's a trend following momentum indicator. It shows the relationships between two moving averages of a security price calculated by subtracting the 26-period exponential moving average, the EMA, from the 12-period EMA. And so an MA is going to be your moving averages. The EMA is also another one you can have, which is your exponential moving average. It's just a little bit different, but you know, not too crazy. One's a little bit smoother than the other, so it's based off personal preference and my belief, honestly. But with your MACD, what it will show is, if we look right here, all right, we have a green MACD, a little red MACD. All right, big green MACD, which means, you know, the volume's gapping up. We're getting a little bit of price movement and momentum. Okay, cool. Right here, we're getting a cross down on the 1 minute, and now it's in a red MACD, which is a downtrend. You know, so you know this crossover right here, you should be selling, re-entering right here, selling right here. And it's just another helpful indicator to show little breakouts. It's a little bit more helpful because the 1 minute will then turn into the 5-minute MACD. You know, and then the 5 minute will then turn into the 10 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute. So they all show you know, what's going on basically. And if you want something to turn trend related, you know, like you're looking for a big gap up, well, you need the 1 minute MACD to go green, and then push the 5 minute MACD to go green, you know, and then continue on, you know, exponentially to the 10, 15, 30 hour MACD, everything like that, to get that trend reversal. And so that's technically what the MACD is used for. It's just an indicator when to buy and sell, or when you can see, you know, different gap ups and whatnot. You can have this one on your phone as well as this one. I wouldn't go too crazy, because you don't want a whole bunch of indicators, you know, throwing you off. It's just these work hand in hand together, I feel like, to give you a very good entry and exit points on, you know, stocks and options. Down here we have your RSI, and what that is your relative strength index. All right, it's an intraday intraday charted current and historical strength or weakness of a security, stock, or market based off closing prices of recent trading period. So your relative strength index, you know, I'm just reading all the definitions, and then I'm going to go, you know, in depth and tell you what it's used for. So down here you can see we have a line at the 70, right? Also, if we zoom out, we have a line at the 30. So these are the two you need to watch, 70 and 30. When you see it down here below 30 RSI, that means it's oversold. And what oversold means is the price is really low, you know, so people are going to start buying it. So look, we have an oversold candle. It's going to start trying to come back up in the RSI. All right, cool. So this is your normal RSI, 40, 50, 60, somewhere around there. All right, now the stock, huge gap up, right? Huge green candles. Well, what that means is the RSI has been overbought. Overbought means the stock is going for more than, you know, it should be going for at this time in strength. So if it's over 70, which this area is, you're going to be looking for a little, you know, comeback, a little pullback on the stock. So big gap up. Right here we have a little pullback to touch the 70 RSI. You know, sometimes it never follows it, especially on the minute chart. You're never going to get, you know, an exact entry and exit point on RSI, but it gives you something to look for. I wouldn't enter a position if the RSI is above 70. Why? Because it's just oversold. You know, like, you're going to be paying way too much for that stock. So you wait for it to come back. Here's a big red candle. Comes back. MACD crosses over. All right, cool. It's consolidating a little bit. And this is where you want to look, is when it's consolidating. Red MACD. Bring the RSI down back to around 50-60 area so that it's normalized, but you don't want to see a step down in the candles. You want to see it hold and maintain these support lines. So it held it very nice through red MACD, got the RSI back to 50, 60, and then another gap up, which is insane. You know, it ran back up again. So that's technically what you want to look for as these breakouts, is these little holds of the support lines, I guess you would say. So that's those charts, and I'm going to show you how to set them up real quick. So the moving average, what you're going to do is you're going to click right here on this little thing. If you can't find it, you're going to go into your indicators tab, click indicators, look through here, you look for your moving average, right? Your inputs, you can have whatever you would like. I like to have the 9 moving average, the 20 moving average, the 50 moving average, and the 200 moving average. Alright, now you're just going to check the ones that you want to have in there. You know, 9, 20, 50, 200. And I'm going to have them all a different color. I like my 200 red. You know, it chills in the background. It doesn't pop up too much. You know, and then your moving average, it's deep blue, the 9 moving average, because that's the closest one to currently. So the moving average 9 is going to move a lot more than the moving average 20, 50, 200, because it's only showing the average of 9 days instead of 200 days, you know. So I have those ones, you know, a little bit of a brighter color just to show me, like where the lines will cross over and whatnot. And also if you go to the introduction, it basically gives you a little breakdown. Alright, cool. So boom, change these colors on there, click those checkbox, click done. VWAP. This is how you're going to turn the VWAP on. Go to your main chart, click VWAP, put it at whatever color you want. I like white. And then you click done. That one's easy because we remember we don't have to change the settings on it because you can't change the settings on it. Okay, also pivot points. Boom, just click pivot points. You can have them whatever style you want. I like the pivot points to be a blue or purple, and then resistance and support lines, yellow or orange, somewhere in that area. But this is basically where you can see the lines above it, or resistance lines, the lines below it, or support lines. And that one's done also. Now we're gonna go to the sub chart up here. MACD. We got the fast length at 12, slow length at 26, signal smoothing at 9. And remember how I said the exponential moving average, subtracting the 12 period exponential moving average from the 26 period from the 12 period? That's where we get this. That's 26 and the 12. MACD, I like to have my signal line as yellow. And what that shows is right here, when the pink and the yellow cross, that's a buy signal. When the pink and the yellow cross again, that's a sell signal. That's technically how that one works. It's, there's a lot more that goes into it, but that's the gist of it. So go back down here, pink, MACD, signal, yellow, whatever you want to do, honestly, as long as your signal line is one color and your MACD is the other color. And you can see, if we zoom in, you can see when this pink line crosses the yellow line, they start a different trend. They start climbing up. All right, cool. We're climbing up. Boom, we're right here. It starts coming down a little bit before that, but right here is where it really touches it, and that's where we get the big gap down. Okay, cool. Then we're here, touches again, and should start climbing up. So technically it does work pretty well. So that's what we're gonna do for the MACD. RSI now. RSI, I like the RSI 14. For the inputs, we're gonna go 6, 14, and 24. RSI 14, that's just gonna show this blue line color, whatever color you want. RSI 60, RSI I6, and then RSI I24, so whatever colors you want. I'm pretty sure these are the 70 and the 30, just showing you those times, or those different levels at which it's overbought and oversold. And then we have another explanation right there. All right, boom, we're gonna click done, and there you go, you have those set up. And on the phone, it's the exact same way. I believe these are going to be over here on the top right though of the stock indicators. They might have changed it with the update, but it relatively should be simple, the same gist, if not. If you want me to do a mobile one, go ahead and let me know in the comments below, and I can screen record the phone as well and show y'all how to do that one. Let me go ahead and show y'all though what's been happening. We've been killing it today. Boom, look at that, 52% on Chewy, $85 calls we're gonna be holding. CCIV, I think we got in these ones Friday last week. Square we got in, everything positive today, nothing bad. 100% on Sophie, which is what we were talking about. Disney, I had a $22 average on Disney, literally the lowest of the day right here is where we entered on Disney. It went up to almost 200% just today. We're still gonna hold these though because it's been beat down. But that's what I'm saying, like, join the Discord, get some profits, get some gains. If you're really worried about, your plays and everything, or just need a second guess, feel free to join the community just to talk to people. But we're killing it. Look at this Sophie call, $104. Sophie. These were the ones that was a 15-minute play in and out on Sophie. Bought for 48, sold for 104. So we got a lot of things going on. Follow the Patreon. It's going to be down in the description. Go ahead and give me a like, a thumbs up, subscribe. Hit that notification bell if you would like. Comment, let me know what y'all want to see, and y'all have a nice day, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.